The dream is real. Yeah. Can I get a standing ovation for the authentic voice of culture? We are TKBS, and I am Dominican King. Woo! AKA your lifestyle specialist, Kenny Burns. How you doing, TKBS Nation? You good? Huh? Me? I'm amazing. Yeah. First off, I'd like to thank my family. They took me to dinner for Father's Day. Oh yeah, they did it on Saturday because they forgot to make reservations for Sunday and it was sold out. But nonetheless, they took me to my used-to-be favorite restaurant.
What?
Yeah. Wonder why I said used to be?
Mm-hmm.
Watch this. Tiffany, play Sugar's Drop. It's time for some story time.
Story time.
So ladies and gentlemen, we go on to Houston's. I ain't gonna lie, I was excited. I had on a jersey. Didn't quite think about my outfit, but I was like, I come here every week. Shouldn't be no issue. Now, when Kenny Burns wears a jersey, he don't just wear a jersey and my nipples be out or my underarm hair is past the line on the basketball jersey. It's none of that. It's together. It was a whole thing. It was a football, hockey style, 4-4 Atlanta jersey, and I felt good about myself. And I'm going to my favorite restaurant, my used-to-be favorite restaurant. So we get inside, and immediately the lady who escorts you to sit down, she says, "Oh,
Mr. Burns, I'm sorry, but we don't wear jerseys. Do you have a t-shirt on under it?"
And I'm like, what? Like, I'm sitting down with my family. I'm about to order my I'm excited, you feel me? And then I'm like, don't even let it, blow your high. It's Father's Day, you with your family. Just take the shirt off. So I took the shirt off. Slightly irritated, I must say. I was slightly irritated, but I was like, I'm not gonna let this blow me. So I'm talking to the family. We sitting there, what you order? What you want to get? I know I'm getting dessert. I gotta have that 5-nut brownie at the end, with the caramel drizzle. I'm excited. And then all of a sudden, the lady starts to take our order. Everybody goes around the table, comes to daddy. I was like, yeah, I want that traditional salad with buttermilk ranch. I would like my filet medium well, butterfly, and a side of fried.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Burns.
Yeah, she interrupted me.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me, Mr. Burns. We don't do medium well on the filet any longer. And we don't butterfly.
I mean, what the fuck?
Huh? And so, for the life of me, I wanted to curse.
Hey, hell no!
And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I said something inappropriate, but it just came out. I was like, y'all want me to act like a nigga, don't you? Because they done already made me take off my jersey. I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry, love, but I just don't understand. Can you please go get the manager? So she goes, she gets the manager. He comes back. He's like,
yes, Mr. Burns.
How may I help you? I'm like, bruh, what's the problem with me ordering my steak medium well? It's the way I like to eat my steak. He's like,
well, it's been a couple of weeks.
I said, no, it ain't. Get your credit card machine together, because I just ate at that bar last week and got my butterfly filet, medium well. He's like,
no, but it's just a whole thing. I said,
nah, man, I said, you know what the problem is? Y'all already done took the chicken tenders off the menu. Y'all already put goddamn cherries in the 5-nut brownie. Nobody like that shit. You got celery and mashed potatoes. We don't do that. I said, look at my skin. Look at my skin. Now look around this room. Huh? Who is your clientele? Because I'm uncomfortable right now. He said,
well, Mr. Burns, I'll do anything you need me to do. If you want to get the Houston Hawaiian, then we can do that medium.
Well, I said, well, why can't you do my filet? I said, give me a second, sir. Basically, get the fuck on. Because I was just in my feelings, man. You know what I'm saying? But then y'all got through it. I did order the filet, had to eat around the motherfucker because the middle was pinky pink, toe pink. And I was, the fries were still good. The traditional salad with buttermilk ranch was great. And my 5-nut brownie was amazing. But just like family is supposed to do, ladies and gentlemen, they're supposed to uplift your spirits. It's Father's Day. Jessica Burns, the matriarch, says, well, let's go around the table and tell Dad what we love most about him. I got slightly emotional immediately because I don't know what they finna say. I'm on pins and needles. I was finna go to jail. Now I'm gonna get some love. They go around the table, tell me all the amazing things. Their words. I'm telling you about the power of words. The power of words will take you where you need to be, okay? As long as you're there to receive the information. My son, my namesake, KB3, my firstborn, says to me, I love and respect how you are yourself unapologetically, no matter what. He was like, that's tough, Dad. I ain't gonna lie, man. That's when I was like, now mind you, he just seen me go through the exchange with the young ladies, because it was two of them prior to me speaking to the manager. And I told him, I said, thank you, son. You don't know how much your words mean to me in this moment. And from that point on, we had an amazing dinner. So thank you, family. And I got a beautiful candle for my daughter-in-law, Layla, and some beautiful cards. And in every card, they wrote a note specifically telling me how they felt. So I appreciate you. You are the reason I am who I am today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. I've had that kind of forever love, and I want you to feel it too. So I named this episode 140, Forever Ever.
Forever Ever?
Yeah. And this episode was inspired by my guest today. That's right, my first in-studio guest. And I ain't gonna lie, she smells amazing. Yeah, I've been telling y'all for a while now, watch Forever on Netflix. It's binge worthy. And if you have not seen it, I suggest you get your ass. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the beautifully talented Mara Brock Akil. How you doing?
So happy to be here.
Oh
Thank
my
you. I'm
God.
amazing.
Listen, this is how I know that you're in charge.
Okay.
Because your entire crew called and canceled and you still showed up.
I wanted to be here.
No, I feel it in my spirit.
Kitty, you and I had a conversation. And
Yeah.
I said we were going to handle it. And God also made the alignment, because they got me scheduled into an inch of my life.
That's what New York said too. He said, see how it's supposed to happen.
It's supposed to happen. And so I wanted to be here. You led with love. I received it, and I'm returning it.
Well, let's talk about love, because you're a busy woman. Ladies and gentlemen, she's on her way to talk to the kids and show the kids, because the kids is the future. And
The kids are the future.
if you couldn't understand that about Forever, I don't know what you're seeing. But that for me, I just want to tell you, legitimately, I moved to LA 2013 to launch Revolt Television. And I bought a mid-century modern, which you're in one now. I can't wait for everybody to see it on Architectural Digest.
Yes.
But I literally was like in love with the whole thing. And then Sierra Canyon happened, $70,000 a year
Oh my God.
for two kids. Then it was like, obviously the mortgage was what it was and all these things. And I'm like, LA is very expensive.
It
But
is.
I'm a hustler and I'm gonna provide for my family. And it's a life I want to live. When I saw Wood Harris's character,
Yeah.
I couldn't, to be honest with you, I couldn't even like hold it in. I was like, yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, and happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Father's Day was this past weekend, but I loved his character. It was a nuance, much like my relationship. In my relationship, I'm the, creative. He was a chef, and Forever, I am many things to many people, and I provided for my family that way.
Yeah.
And to see the wife be the cornerstone of education, much like my wife, she just graduated with honors from Howard University.
Oh, wonderful.
Ain't you?
You know. And I'm not even, I need to be like.
No, but that's a Black national something you need to say. That's not like something you don't.
You don't even have to know.
You don't even have to go there.
You already know the call and response.
Exactly. So she's the educator, and that dynamic was my life.
It's a lot of our lives. They just don't make it to the screen.
Right.
And, though there are a lot of images on the screen that are, that are challenging.
Yes.
They're also talking about the trauma and the pain, and some of that does exist. What is not being recorded enough of is how we are thriving.
Come on.
Because I think that's what a lot of even the current backlash is about. They're still wondering, how are we doing it? Well, we're doing it together, and it doesn't always have to be in the traditional family structure.
That's right.
Just as Shelly and Keisha's side of the family, it's in a village structure, which is one of our greatest resources that we need to remember and return to. Because if we get further away from the village, you got to pay for everything.
That's right.
And that's one of the challenges of LA. Even the Edwards family, they have their resources, but the resources and both are great.
Yes.
You have resources in your pocket and resources in your village.
Yes.
And collectively, that's where we all shine. And collectively, that's where our children are going to thrive.
Listen, and the grandfather on that side.
Yeah.
I mean, that era of father Like my daddy wasn't present.
Yeah.
That's that era.
My daddy wasn't present.
Right? So we have a lot of that as a community, but then you have, this man who shows up every time.
Yeah.
Like she needs him. And I mean, I want to give you genius. This is our first time meeting.
Yes. I'm so excited.
But it's really genius the way that you put the dynamics of the characters. I mean, let's look at Michael Cooper Jr.
Yeah.
He literally had a communication issue.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, Gen Z in general.
You have a communication issue. And this phone, that's what's supposed to get us together. It's keeping us further apart.
It's driving a wedge. and you have children. You know the shorthand text.
Yes.
You get I don't even know the shorthand text anymore,
I know,
but they talk like that now.
Yeah.
Right. So, but what had you in, specifically for a Black boy, what was the thought process in making his character that way?
My love for my boys, but more my firstborn though is the first one that made me a parent. So a lot of, I give a lot of grace, and I also ask him, I really applaud him for choosing to be my first.
Come on.
Because I'm going to make some mistakes out of that love and parenting from.
We tried some things. We tried some things being first-time parents.
First-time parents. And I tell his younger brother, you are so lucky to have him as a big brother because he blocked for you.
Yeah, he endured.
And there was a moment, I'll share it with you very candidly. Yeah. I remember they were younger, and I remember they're 4.5 years apart, 5 grades apart. And that's very significant. And
yes, they weren't in high school at the same time.
No,
yeah.
and so it gave the little one a lot of space, for me to reflect on what I did well, what I didn't do well, to give to the second kid. Long story short, it was a moment of tension, and my older son said to me, like, you love him more than me, and I was like, okay,
everybody, calm down.
And I had to stop him and look him in the eye and tell him there is no way that I can love him more, and expounded on that.
Absolutely.
I said, but what you are feeling, and this is the truth, I am a better mother to him.
Because of you.
Because of you.
Amen.
And I need you to know I have made mistakes, and I'm likely going to make more, but I love you, and I'm trying my best. I told him I'm going to therapy because I got some stuff to work on.
Yeah.
And he is my greatest teacher. And part of that, I realized as a parent, I got to get a lot more together so I can, my eye being trained on him, I can help guide him to his, he chose me. He wanted to be in my care, our care. But me just speaking from a mother to a son, my heart was just on him. And I had a lot that I needed to, there's a lot of journaling. There's a lot of things I was working out. And as an artist, what I love is there's an opportunity for me to, I don't want to say deposit, but it's the ink in my pen.
100%.
My heart is over there. So then when the opportunity came, Judy Blume is now allowing her body of work to be translated for the screen. My 12-year-old hand just went up because I want to be in that.
That's
Though
right.
I don't really need IP to write stories. I can do that.
You just go.
But there was just this moment. It was like, I call it the Big Bang for me. And so now I had a place to put all that love, all those concerns, all those mistakes, all that, and then everything else that I have a catch and craft writing style. I catch us all the time.
Listen.
I'm always walking. I'm looking at, I've already,
you have a character for me is what she's saying. Ladies and gentlemen, she done already made a part for Kenneth Burns Jr. No, listen.
That would be your credit title. It won't be Kenneth Burns.
Child, it needs to be Kenneth. We need to get some education. I'm like the product of my locked up at 18, made a decision to be better. Wow. 25 years married. I have a story. This might be a whole thing. But I want to go back to Foreva really quick because you are the mother in the episode. Yeah, it seems there are a lot of new. Oh, yeah. But I want to just give you kudos for that because. But
I'm not. It's just not just me though.
It's all of you superheroes.
Yes.
No. This is what I'm saying. I got to land this plane for you.
Okay.
You literally, my sons, after watching Foreva, went to my wife. Oh. It was like, you good? She was like, yeah. And they knew she wanted to say something. After watching it, she was like, is that me? She was like, is that me?
Is that me? And wait a minute. Yes. But they went to her to protect and hug her?
No, they went to her to make sure she was good in a way that, so they can come back and rib her and fuck with her.
Yeah. But we gotta have fun.
No, you gotta have fun. So they always joke, but they came to her like, you good? She's like, yeah. She's like, was that me?
Yes.
And they were like, yes, Mom, that's what you do. And it's okay.
Because it's love. And I think our kids know it's love, but it is parenting from a place of fear. But could you blame Black mothers given the history we have in this country? So I hope that the show will allow us to see ourselves, but we still have to make room for these babies.
No question.
We gotta make room. The outside world is dangerous. And then we bring that fear into our homes for their love and their protection. But where do they have any place to exist if we keep narrowing the gap? And so I wanted to do that not only for my sons, I wanted to do it for your babies. I wanted to do it for my friends' babies. I wanted to do it for our community's babies, because they are the answer for the future. And
they need to see it.
They need to see it. And because they got more things to think about. We're about to enter a whole new world. AI, the phones are just like child's play.
I hate the phone and what it's doing. I'm sorry.
But that's child's play to what is about to happen. But they're uniquely positioned to lead us.
To be the best generation ever.
We've got to let them out.
No question.
We've got to let them see themselves. We got to know them. We got to protect them from a different perspective in the spirit of giving them the information so they'll make great choices for themselves. Like, I really believe this depiction of young people not being able to make good choices is BS.
It's beyond, it's unfathomable.
They can make good choices, but they need good information and a good support system, and knowing that they're going to make mistakes. The other thing I want to say, Kenny, because
you making me want to just break down the 48 laws of power, Mara style. That's the next something.
Well, where are we going on tour?
No, because they need the information. And with all the disinformation, with all the waking up, competing and comparing, and even how you put it in Foreva. I'm not through with you in the show now, child. It is a whole thing of him getting the confidence through his girl to finally speak up.
To finally speak up.
And he already got communication issues, but he finally got the courage to tell y'all, his parents, how he felt.
Yes.
And he still did the Northwestern thing, but then came back around to what served and filled him. But that's the comfortable space that you felt throughout that process in your storytelling. And that's, as parents, how we have to learn how to double dutch so that we're not like overbearing. You got to do this, and you don't do this, you ain't gonna be shit. And it's just
the future's over. You don't do this.
Exactly.
You don't make your bed.
Right. And it's really not on our children as much as it's on the millennials, and that's a whole nother show.
Right.
Because I feel like they are the higher learning generation, even more than we were. Like this millennial thing, they're not trying to be wrong ever.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting? What I throw back at them, how often you getting your hands in the dirt. There's idea of coming into a situation thinking you know everything all the time, and the labeling on things. I think the analysis, though, is needed for growth.
Yes.
But the idea to overanalyze to the point where now you're labeling, and then that is then in that category and it's stuck. I have a little bit of concern about that. While on the other hand, I also think that generation is moving us forward to this idea of the individual self. But how does the individual self, meaning like the specificity of us. And that's a beautiful thing. And I think we need the specificity of us, but we also need to work in the acceptance of all.
Of what it is. Because I can't stand AI, child. I think AI is the devil.
Well,
because it can replace, but it can replace humans in a way like no other technology
before. It has to get in good hands to figure out how to use a tool. Not
Elon Musk.
Yeah, exactly.
Child.
He's spinning out, so.
But let me ask you this, and I got to stay forever because I know you're on crunch time. We have a unique connection with Foreva because of the identity and its truth, right? Like our identity is so attached to each one of those characters.
Yes.
I don't care if you are a parent or aren't, you see it professionally. If you're not a child, but yet you have children, all the things are connective. And we grew up with the Huxtables. We grew up with a different world.
Yes.
We had things, not our circumstances, but things that reminded us of what could be.
What could be and
who we are.
Who we are. Because that's even like the ancestral memory of it all too. It's all in there. I think what I hope is that the storytelling and the craftsmanship of our stories, I hope that more people take it on.
Right.
Whether it's being screenwriting and playwriting in books. And I know that people are like, well, AI, but AI can be a tool for your research. For instance, like for me, I don't mind technology when it's in service to me.
Exactly.
I believe
Humans.
Humans. I believe in my vision. AI is not going to think like me.
That's right.
And I believe that. I actually think the untapped tool and match for that is journaling.
Come on.
Pen and paper is the new technology.
Come on.
Think about this. We have not collectively journaled and understood what is at source in us on a consistent basis in the way that we have been participating in other technology, progressive thought.
Right.
But luxury, relaxing, resting, stillness, thoughtfulness, reflection, and putting it in a journal.
That's different.
That's you and God.
Yeah, that's a connection. That's different.
That's a different connection resource that we haven't tapped in collectively.
Right.
My body of work starts in a journal. My body of work starts on pen and paper. My body of work starts with my relationship with God. And my belief that if I sit down in this chair, you're going to meet me. There's going to be a muse, and protect me through it. You don't think I'm nervous and scared sometimes around the responsibility of a story like this?
That's right.
On an opportunity like this?
Come on.
Netflix is the biggest stage I've ever launched on.
Wow.
I have built networks with my storytelling.
Yeah.
I build cities like Atlanta with my content. But that was the first sort of major Broadway sort of play.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure that not only I was successful and the people and the storytellers with me, but I'm carrying that image globally on May 8th.
Listen, did you think it was coming to this though? I feel like phenomenons happen on accident. And I say that meaningfully, right? Like you don't know that it's gonna affect. And I tell you, every time I drive down Peachtree and I see a billboard, or I go up, to Phipps Plaza and the bus stop has I'm like, no, you're Forever sign.
Forever.
Yes. Yes, you're
yes.
like, it's a thing for me. Like I knew they weren't ready for this. I knew they weren't ready.
They weren't ready. I think I knew we were ready. I knew we as a culture were ready.
Hello, can you just hug me?
Yeah.
We needed this hug.
I knew that we were ready. I was curious about what the world would think and receive and how it would respond. And it is continuing to grow. And especially even for you, like you being moved enough to say, hey, Mara, come, let's have a conversation.
It's the most important thing.
This conversation is going to create more curiosity throughout the summer. So I really want a summer run. I want a forever summer.
No, you're going to have a forever 10, 12, 27 seasons if you like. Because the story can go on and on and on and on.
Because love is forever.
Love is forever.
And love keeps shape-shifting. Love keeps changing. Love keeps...
Flash dance. Sorry. No, you're... Yo, Mara.
Where have you been all my life?
No, I love you too.
You're so amazing.
No, I want to tell you this wholeheartedly because Black love is a consistent thing in your life as well as mine. We've both been married a long time. We have these amazing children. We are who we are to our communities in a meaningful way. Someone always asks me, like, how do you want to be remembered? I want to be remembered that I meant something to someone. I want to be remembered.
But let me pause.
Yeah.
In your deepest pain, you made a decision.
I did.
That's a part of your origin story. And I think I remember how I became in relationship with God to understand that I must be here for a reason.
That's right.
Are we asking that of ourselves? Are we asking that of our children? Are we asking that of our nieces and nephews? The role of aunt and uncles and the need for us to be like, who came in our life, like in our village, whether called family or the larger community, and I think we need to get real too. There are some who are special. And then where are the role players in that village to support what is special versus what could potentially take them down, or we don't know what to do with them, so we just want to herd
so we judge and move them out the way,
or herd them into what's normal because you want to keep them safe. No, what's special about our children? What's special about them, and how am I uniquely qualified to get them there?
Yes.
Like our sons have huge dreams.
Yeah.
How
they're going to get them, we quite don't know yet, and we're going to help them figure it out.
Yeah. And also, I want to speak to that. Sometimes, we tell our kids to dream, and I think when we tell them to dream, we also need to be prepared to be their first venture capitalist.
Come on.
And I want to be mindful of that. There's this idea that we get them through high school or we get them through college. Now they're on their own, but on their own for what? A corporate gig? Perhaps. Yes.
Right.
They should be prepared to go into the corporate world and work if they're going to go through college. But if you're talking about following their dreams,
how does that show up?
Yeah. And there's a different path for different dreams, whether you're going to be in entertainment, you're going to be in sports, you're going to be in law, you're going to be in engineering, you're going to be in AI. But we've got to be clear about that.
No question. But
and that requires more engagement, and not just between parents and children, but the village to help us see. Because there are going to be blind spots in parenting.
Yeah.
So who's going to help you see?
Absolutely. And I just had that with your nephew you're about to meet. His name is Kyle Burns.
Yes.
And basketball star, and had to pivot because he had brain surgery. Wow. And so he made it back to playing, but then figured out, I don't want to play anymore after 2 years. I'm going to do music. He comes to me the other day and he's like, I kind of want you to help me with this music. And I was like, for sure. Are you serious? Like any and every relationship, and your social currency is so amazing, by the way. But then it got to the people, no, I want you to fund it like you fund my dreams as I was growing up. I'm like, boy, you are 21 years old. I will not, and I shall not. You gonna get you a job is what you about to do.
So there's another pathway.
Like, I'll get your first song mixed.
Yes.
I introduce you to all these people, but you got to do something in between. We can't just think that we can stop life as we know it to just go into another direction with no preparation or financing.
Or understanding that it's great for you to pivot.
Yes, pivots are necessary.
Great for you to pivot, but what is the plan around the pivot? And to your point, he came to you and said, will you fund it all? And you said, no.
Right.
But I'll fund this, this, and this. And now it's time to puzzle it together.
Yes.
And part of the puzzle is, what job could he get?
Yes.
That he can then keep a practice in his music making.
Absolutely.
And that he can stay healthy, happy, and focused on the dream.
Yes, the dream is real. And before I let you go, I have to give you your flowers, but I do have to talk about the uncle in Martha's Vineyard. That's my sister Robin line. When I tell you, she be like, fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids.
Listen,
fuck
Mara,
them kids.
Mara, listen.
Sit your butt down.
Listen.
Put the pizza in the oven.
Stand
the frozen pizza. The kitchen is closed.
When I tell you that hit every black family, they got them aunties that's on the side that ain't real blood. You know, they want to talk the most shit.
Shout out to Uncle Charlie.
Yeah, Uncle Charlie.
Uncle Charlie's here in Atlanta too. There's a real
beautiful.
Uncle Charlie in our lives that loves all of our children. And though he has no children of his own, he has adopted all of the children and given the best of himself to them. And also reminding us, hey, you need a break.
You need a balancer too.
You need a balance.
In your family, you need a balancer. Somebody's going to say exactly what it is. And in your life, that's Uncle Charlie. In my life, that's Robin Line. She owns Baller Alert too. She loves you. She told me to tell you hello.
Oh, tell her hello back.
Yes, honey. Well, I want to just tell you from my heart that like these things are not only paramount as far as what we need to be doing storytelling, but they're necessary so our kids are going to be able to function properly.
Yes.
Not just understanding their legacy and heritage, but functioning. You know, this quick microwavable thing is just...
Can I add to functioning?
Yeah.
Thriving.
Yes.
Do you know the miracle it is on our life to be here? And I think the dream for me is not, we don't want our children to have to struggle. Like, it's funny, my son does music. He goes, Mom, I'm so curious about what songs will come out of me from a place of non-struggle. He doesn't have any trauma. He doesn't have any struggle. He doesn't have the Black legacy story because we've moved here. So what would love and support and thriving sound like? That's where I want our children in whatever fields of their lives and their whole life, because it's not just about career.
Yeah.
Who are you? Where do you want to be? What are you giving back?
Yeah.
What are you taking in?
How is your purpose aligning with your passion? I wish I was taught that early. Well, I know you got to go.
You found it though.
Amen. Child, she's been to Love Land. She knows what it looks like. She's seen hard work from a Black man and his family. The dream is real. I want to tell you, I think you are a national treasure. I mean, even back to depicting our Black women in their 20s when Girlfriends came out and how they showed up and all the things that we go through as a people. Please do not stop telling those stories. And if you ever need me, I know a few people and I know a few things about life.
Okay. I really appreciate you.
Cheers to you, my love.
Cheers to you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Beautiful human. I love you in real life. And now it's time for Live from the Comments section. All right, Tiff, you got any comments over there, baby girl?
Baby girl.
I'm not playing with you today. And yes, sir, we do. You already know last episode was on fire.
Yes.
But you know, as the world turns is why they really tune in.
Hello.
Eyes for Design said, you made me grab my Bible because, the test is testing.
Listen, and it ain't gonna stop. Y'all seen the antics this last week, child. That man had a parade that was a funeral. I don't know what he expected. Then my mama called me and sent the newspaper clippings about them trying to get people to the place. Talking about they was gonna give people $1,000 by the time they turn 18, reminding them of that because he's obviously said that before. But it's like, who gonna wait to 18 to get $1,000 from your ass? You not gonna be here, sir. All right, Tiff, we got any more comments over there?
It's the $1,000 on payment plan for me. And yes, sir.
Sheesh.
You know, the other big conversation outside of the orangutan in office was the AI conversation.
Orangutan in office. You better get your one. You better get your one lick in. Tiffany don't fight fair. If she don't like you, she gonna get a lick in. You might want to get your ass up, dust yourself off, and get going.
And but the AI conversation is what had everybody on their heads in addition to the As the World Turns. And Fenton Haney says, in regards to Timbaland choosing to sign an AI artist, that he has been giving people a lot of chances on IG Live. Maybe it's not their time or he is not their mentor/producer. I would say to artists, Timbaland is legendary and a little eccentric. Genius really, but he really isn't the only one. Let him do his thing and you keep grinding and working what God has for you. AI cannot stop.
Hello? Listen, I hear you. And, big shout out to Tim again. It's not a diss to Tim if that's what he wants to do with his talents. After giving us, if you're horny, let's do it. Then you go on and ride it. The AI cowboy. Tiff, we got any more comments over there, baby?
Yes, sir, we do. And the last comment that we have, of course, there's been plenty more, but the last comment we're going to read today is for Teaches215. Sticking in the theme of the AI, she said, AI artists can't tour around the world, and they definitely can't make a legitimate connection with fans. This experiment is a good idea that's designed to fail. Realness and reality is key.
I mean, it's the only thing. We already dealing with people being someone they're not socially. And now you about to tell us robots is taking over? And it won't happen, y'all. And I guess my duty here is to make you think as well, right? I just want you to think about the alternative. Like, we see these things, and I don't know if y'all seen Last of Us, but I've been binge watching Last of Us on HBO, and it's so good. But, I don't think there's gonna be a airborne disease or a disease that changes people into zombies. But yeah, kinda. I mean, we're turning into zombies because of social media and being, manipulated mentally in so many ways. We're not acting like ourselves or showing up like ourselves. I don't know, child. I just want you to think about it because I'm thinking about it. Tiffany, thank you for the live from the comments section. And now it's time for As the World Turns with Kenny Burns. That gets more interesting every week. In the immortal words of my father, Prince, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. An electric word, life, it means forever. And that's a mighty long time. But I'm here to tell you, there's something else. The afterworld. A world of never-ending happiness. You can always see the sun, day or night. So when you call up that shrink in Beverly Hills, you know the one, Doctor, everything will be all right. Instead of asking him how much of your time is left, ask him how much of your mind. Babe, because in this life, things are much harder than in the afterworld. In this life, you're on your own. So get to stepping. Amen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tell everybody you know to like, share, and comment, because we had Mara Brock Akil today. Another round of applause for that superhuman. I'm in love in the most respectful way possible. I'll see you next week. And before we get out of here, Tiffany, not in the white woman voice, but in yours, can you please get us out of here?
The dream is real.
I need Oklahoma. I demand perfection.
The dream is real.
The dream is real.